My name is Max Olupot. I work for the AFAAS, the African Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services, as partnerships planning and learning specialist, and also coordinate the East African Field School. And today I'm also the acting ED of AFAAS because my boss is on leave. Therefore, I saw the number of things. I'm happy and glad to be here on the conversation about climate smart, which is a key thing in the arena of climate change. So I'll basically go through reminders of what AFAAS is, and also tell you about what CADAPEX-P is, but again, show you a bit of some few other things. So, seems actually in your computer is having a number of other things. It's showing a different presentation on another presentation. I think this is it. So I'll talk about briefly about AFAAS strategy, which is 2018 to 27, but of course focusing on the operational plan and most importantly, an idea about the theory of change that we're talking about, but also having heard from the CEO of AFAAS about the debate about the research and extension public. I will also talk about the African agricultural research and development. Where we situate AFAAS, for example, and all of us. Then I'll briefly talk about few projects at AFAAS, about 1 minute, then talk briefly about the CADAPEX-P4, its outputs and the theory of change, then conclude. But I want to begin by saying CADAPEX-P4 is a project funded by the European Commission, European Union, and managed by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, AFAAS. So we are grateful to the EU and all those who put the money together to give to AFAAS. The AFAAS strategic orientation, I think there was a problem here, but I want to just briefly talk about AFAAS. AFAAS has 3 strategic pillars. The first pillar of AFAAS is about strengthening agriculture extension capacities. That means bringing the actors together at a continental level and also the country forum. The second pillar is more about engaging with partnerships, but most importantly, scaling out innovations, practices, and technologies so that we can be able to reach the farmers. And we're glad that AFAAS is working with the ministry and other actors who are doing this. AFAAS does not do it on the ground. Our role is coordination, facilitation, and ensuring things are happening. Then the last pillar is about enhancing the outreach of extension through research in extension. That means a center of excellence in terms of bringing the issues on board, which are either policy or otherwise. Just to appreciate that the board of AFAAS is a diverse one from the continental level, you can see this and also choose your own so that you become a happy person that AFAAS at the continental level is represented by one of your own. And at the executive level, the top 5 people are the executive members of AFAAS. Dr. Jamen from Cameroon, based in Burkina Faso. Then Paul Fudge from Malawi, Professor Sena Moses from Liberia, Associate Professor Margaret Mangeni from Uganda, AFAAS member, and Dr. Verona from Mozambique. The rest you are familiar with them. Mary Kamau, the former director of extension in Kenya. Dr. Jeff Mudimba, you remember him while teaching material for many years. Sisi is from Cote d'Ivoire. Dr. Christine Davis is a well-known extensionist who was the former executive secretary of GIFRAS. Dr. Akeredolu is from Sasakawa. Yenenesh is the director of extension in Ethiopia. Professor Okoyo is the renowned extensionist from Nigeria. Modibo is a media expert in Africa. Dr. Slim is the executive director of AFAAS. Now I am the one for today. The theory of change. I think this theory of change is very difficult to see, but I want to summarize in a way that AFAAS deals with knowledge management mainly. Whatever comes from the outputs, the activities that we do, it all trickles up to the level we are saying we need to change the lives of the smallholder farmers or farmers in whatever they do in a more transformed way. That is a summary of this change. So all these debates we're having here, are they for what? For the lives of the farmers. Situating AFAAS and others at the continental level. You see, like I mentioned, this project that we're talking about, CADAP-XP, is a consortium project, which is by FARA, the Forum for Agricultural Research in Africa, which is a continental organization, and AFAAS as a continental organization for extension under AUC. Then at the sub-regional level, we have the SROs, the sub-regional research organizations, as SARECA for us here situated in Entebbe, but for East and Central Africa. We have CADESA, which is coordination of the agricultural research and development in Southern Africa. Then we have the West African one, which is CORAF. Those days it was also called WECA. So, but at the north, you also have the what we call NASRO, the research organization, but it's not yet developed. So meaning, at this point, AFAAS is also situating its country fora and the regional fora. Like the West Africa, we have RESCA, which is for Central and West Africa. But at the southern part, we have SAFAS, which is also a regional fora. So what is the mechanism? The issue is that we want to ensure that where there is a research, there is extension. At the continental level, at the sub-regional level, at the national level, possibly up to the village level, if we can. So that is the summary. Some of you are aware that at the continental level, there is what we call the Global Forum for Agricultural Research. At that level, we also have the Global Forum for Rural Advisory Research, which is different. So at the continental level, again, I mentioned FARA, but there are also other actors at that level. There are farm organizations like FAFO. There is also a forum at the regional level and others which I imagine. But also, there's a CGR system for research team. For you are very familiar with this. So that also coordinates with it, the FARAs and the AFAAS, and most importantly for us today is at the national level. Who are your actors? Who are your partners? The CADAP-XP project wants to see that AFAAS is working with the research people. AFAAS is working with the private sector. AFAAS is working with the education and training institutions. The good news is that most of these are your members, but if they are not, then we have to have the partnerships with these groups of stakeholders. They are all critical in terms of driving the agricultural research and development agenda in Africa. But to do this, therefore, we need beyond capacities which are technical. We also talk about functional capacity and functional capacity to navigate complexity. Some people don't even want to partner with you. They say, but how do you navigate that? You need a functional capacity to do that. You also need the collaboration. You need some people who say, no, let's work together. You need the capacity to reflect and learn as you move, as you evolve as a forum. But also, you need to strategically and politically engage, and that is why the dialogue is. And if all this is done, then you can be able to adapt and respond to circumstances. AFAAS has some few projects which I want to highlight quickly. CADAP-XP is now a familiar one with you. We also have the Sabino, which we call Strengthening Innovation Support Services. We have the Farmer Field School, which is supported by FAO. We have what we call the PASTA, which is more of a research, but adoption, which is by AATF, the Africa Agricultural Technology Foundation, led by Dr. Chitere in Nairobi. Most of you are familiar with that. And this works with the research, and we are hosting this. We have the Sahel, which is on climate and livestock, but also led by one of the regional networks, I call the RESCA already, I told you, but they are potential ones. That could be Bio for Rural, ACP underutilized species, with FAO, ICIPE, and AFAAS, and Bioscience Africa. These ones are potential, but you always don't count potential. You only count potential when it is activity. Just to highlight two projects, CADAP-XP and LMP. So these are some of the countries. I want to mention that Uganda is lucky because eventually you're supposed to be in both projects. But because we saw CADAP-XP is a bigger project, therefore you are in CADAP-XP. So what is CADAP-XP? CADAP-XP is one of the programs under the European Commission, under a big umbrella called the DESIRA, which is development of smart innovations through research in agriculture. And this is where we have this dialogue. The project is anchored in climate smart agriculture, climate change. The EU is very passionate to see Africa resilient so that we don't have people migrating, we don't have a lot of things. So EU has really a heart to ensure that we can be resilient. So CADAP-XP is for about 4 years, and again I want to repeat, we work in partnerships with the SROs and FARA. Therefore, AFAAS will be working in partnership with research, private sector, and other actors in the agricultural innovation system. I hope that is very clear. And that is the only point I wanted to come and pass. I will even stop now here. So, this is not very clear for you, but for me, I can explain it briefly, even if I don't see. CADAP-XP is anchored in 5 pillars. So, the first pillar is more about the capacity of the institutions to be able to deliver the project, but also the capacity of the institutions to interact with their partners. The second pillar is the most important, where we talk about the partnerships which could be north-south, south-south. So in a case of AFAAS, what does this mean? You will have to develop a number of partnerships. You have to collaborate with a number of actors. But this does not mean you need a lot of money. You just need to work together and deliver together and pull together. So CADAP-XP component 2, it tries to ensure that issues of climate change are done in a partnership mode. Partnerships are done for you to do capacities. Partnerships are done in order for you to also do policy. So pillar 3, which is now a real policy one. So this pillar especially explains that the nexus in science and innovation should be bridged. There is always a gap that we see, but we want to see the European Commission and all the actors are saying, how do we see the extension and research together? How do we see science happening to help people? Not just science, not just talking about very difficult things like most of us do, but things that are contextual to help people. Even if I talk about the precarious, even if I talk about anything that I've learned, but how does it translate to help people? That's the science nexus in terms of policy. And also this pillar anchors AFAAS and the other regional organizations to the African Union, because the African Union is the driver of CADAP, the Comprehensive African Agricultural Development Program. Therefore, this pillar, even when you have this dialogue should be able to trickle and inform the African Union, the ACP, and other actors in the region, including AODA, the NEPAD, which is the coordinating unit of the African Union on agriculture. How they can be able to pick the policies to support people. So the policies that bar people from getting services. The fourth is about knowledge management, which is a common one for all of us, and most of the people in the room are familiar. We need to document, we need to share, we need to have stakeholders engaging, we have to curate this knowledge. We of course want to create this knowledge, but make sure that it's available for people. So I hope AFAAS website, AFAAS platforms can be able to provide this knowledge for free, so that actors can be able to access it and use it in their domains of work. The last pillar is more about planning, coordination, collaboration in terms of the project. So that pillar just brings all the actors together, AFAAS, para, SROs, but also in the context of AFAAS, you have members where you can do planning and you can be able to execute the projects as a consultant. The theory of change of CADA is anchored in the Malabo high-level indicators. You are all maybe aware, in 2014, the CADA, which was formerly the 2003 Maputo, was renewed. Then the Malabo Declaration had its own indicators, and the key indicators about this is about increased productivity and resilience. Again, productivity and resilience are key things in climate smart agriculture. Actually, it's pillar one of climate smart. So also, as we do this debate, we should be able to anchor ourselves into contributing to that Malabo code of the African Union. So I will not explain the whole theory of change now, because I will tell you the big picture. I want you to keep in mind that this policy dialogue is anchored in ensuring that we have improved agricultural productivity and resilience of farmers, of agri-food systems, and how we do business. The last slide. As we engage and try to empower farmers in our different ways, we need to coordinate effort, definitely. We need to build partnerships. And we, of course, need to adapt to situations as they come. All of us have our own domains. Today, we are talking about climate smart and climate change. Therefore, sustainably increasing agricultural productivity and income is key, which is pillar one of climate smart agriculture. Pillar two is about resilience. Resilience in doing what? Resilience in responding to circumstances, but also the other one, which we try to do, is reducing the house gases, green gases. The green gases is a big issue for us. As an extension, I think we mainly focus on ensuring we have pillar 1 and 2, because we deal with adaptation, but we try to do that. Therefore, if you have to do this, you need a number of people, but also you need a pluralistic system. And I want to thank the Ministry of Agriculture, Animals Welfare and Fisheries, represented here by the Commissioner, that pluralism is being the key thing of the ministry, and I think that fits everybody, and we can be able to respond to pieces of the cake, the pieces of the apple together, and if each person does the piece, maybe we can be able to cover the apple and change the lives of people who need us. With this, I bring the greetings of the Executive Director who is on leave, and as I stand here and the Board of AFAAS, and I wish you very good deliberations as we gather together in a resilient system.